So thanks for putting this together today, and maybe you could tell what we're doing.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so David had a nice walk over to the UUC house today, and just in the flow of things, none of it particularly planned, we sat down and started talking about what the UUC is, and about, at least, well, we seem to have a shared vision on it, that it's about more than just the house, that it's about coming together to be able to communicate our needs and our dreams, and also our gifts that we're able to share with everyone within the community.
Let me tell you how that happened.
Yeah.
I had, James has had this idea, and I kind of said, "Oh, sure, I'll jump in," but I really didn't know what it was about. I kind of thought it was about the house, and this is a beautiful house. There's no question.
You thought the UUC was about the house?
Yes, yeah, and I see that the house is a beautiful tool in the creation of the universal collective that James has as his vision. But we had a meeting here the other night with about a dozen of us that are kind of that James has asked to be part of the advisory board, or whatever the heck we are.
Yeah, the council, so to speak. Yeah.
And I got it. I thought, oh, it isn't about the house. Well, it includes the house, but it isn't about the house. Here's the possibility that came for me, was that so if we have 150 members, or however many, 500 members, what can happen is that we have the opportunity that people can share what they do to the group, and we can support each other. But as simple as if one of us is moving at the end of the month and needs help moving, we can post it on the page, or because we'll also have a central Facebook page, or we can post it on the page or in the website, and say, hey, I need help moving, or I need boxes, so that's really simple. But
Yeah.
and that many of us could show up with trucks and move somebody, boom, and maybe if that, I'm just playing this out, but maybe if that person was going to spend $800 on the move, and all of a sudden they get the move for free, maybe they throw $400 into the pot to support the house and the mechanics of what's happening to keep this thing going, and
which is ultimately the group of us.
Yes, and the same with if somebody does Reiki, and you would like to have somebody come and do Reiki, or Siobhan does craniosacral, and she can, it doesn't have to be in the house, but maybe Siobhan could come to your house and do craniosacral, and for a reduced rate, because we're part of this group together. So it's like a tribe.
Yeah, it's like a tribe. Yeah, just kind of building the network of intelligence that we have together. Yeah.
So we, I just see the value for me jumped, astronomically. That one of the things for me, it's hard actually for me to ask for things, right? For me to say, well, I have some needs, and so it'll be maybe a challenge for all of us to say, well, how can I benefit? Most of us would rather look at what can I give, how can I put into this, but think about it, as we're going to post what each person does, on the page, what we offer, and you can take advantage of those, or get directly in touch with those. And one of the things that you mind if I just talk a bit about what I think I could offer?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Did you introduce yourself?
Did I introduce myself?
You might as well now, because then I could cut the video and turn it into two, or just let it run either way. But
all right, David McElwain. Hi, and some of you might know me. I had a store in town for many years called Valley and Beyond, and before that, I had a store called City Tile, and so I've been in business here, and had businesses in Calgary for a long time, but I think my value these days, or where I'm enjoying giving back, is in the community around addiction and alcoholism and addiction recovery, and helping or listening or sharing or supporting often families. I work with addicts and alcoholics on a volunteer basis all the time, but supporting families. And so let's say that your son is struggling, I'll sit with you and talk to you about understanding what's going on, because there's a lot of stigma around it. There's the disease of addiction, and there's a lot of confusion around it. And if you're a mom or a dad or a husband or a wife of an addict or an alcoholic, it's tough. So I'm understand that, and I was brought up in an alcoholic home, and I married them, and dated them, and
it's a lot of experience with what it really means.
What it really means, and if it's just kind of appeared in your life, you might not know what to do. And I can support you with that. So that's one of the things, of course, and I'll come and help you move too.
You do.
Yeah. So maybe what do you want to share?
Yeah, let's see. So just for the same purpose, Alan Robertson here. So I've contributed the camera that we're shooting on here and the mics that are attached to that
the lighting,
camera.
The sound.
The lighting, yeah. We got these little white LED boards here that we're shooting with that I've swung together, and the soundproofing to be able to. And there's more potential. Like, we need more of these soundboards for other rooms. I can help build that out too. So I've contributed a lot of the production gear, which is my own, but I'm interested in just, as long as people don't spill coffee on it too much, then I'm willing to let people use that. Also, I have a lot of knowledge for if you have, everybody has something to share. So whatever that is, you want to come and talk about your life, you want to do an interview, you want to share what you've been thinking about doing for a long time, but you're like, I don't know how to video edit or whatever, then I can help to some degree with that. It might be, I also have my computer upstairs, which is an audio workstation, which I can maybe do a video series on how to use that to record and mix your own music or podcasts.
Nice.
I can teach with that, and maybe make some instructional videos that people can inform themselves with. Also, so that's the media stuff, which was kind of my first expertise and love, especially around music. I can teach music lessons from a high level. I don't necessarily do the teach beginners as much, but like kind of high level mentorship. Here's what I want to create, and what do I do now? And I can give you exercises to keep you busy for the next 3 years, kind of thing. I went to university for all of that. So
did you?
Yes, for music. Yeah.
Wow, you're kidding.
Yeah.
Where'd you study?
I went to Malaspina. Well, it's in Nanaimo, BC. Yeah, so Malaspina University College for jazz guitar. I don't really specialize in jazz, but that's a great way to learn a lot about music, is doing the jazz thing.
Wow.
But more recently, so I've also lived in spiritual community based around A Course in Miracles for 5 years. So a lot of stuff like talking about like no private thoughts, how to express what's present and
internal dialogue.
Yeah. Also a lot of study on consciousness through various books, and a lot of meditation, methodologies for how to deal with the emotional stuff that comes up that's like pre-logical. If you experience fears or triggers that might be, somebody says something and you just really get angry immediately. So techniques for dealing with that kind of thing. Happy to sit with you and chat about that from my own experience and learning. And then also more recently, talking about law. So this is a little bit to paint a picture around this. If you're not clear what mandate means versus law versus legal, there's a lot of implications in the world that we're living in right now. Like, masks are mandatory. So what does that really mean? It's kind of like, if you really understand what's going on, there's a lot of freedom to step into, actually, as a man or woman in this society right now. So, and it implies, your taxation, whether you're implied in that, and a lot of other things as well. So if you want to talk to me about that, I'm happy to share. And that's
it's a vast reservoir.
Yes.
Of stuff, music, and the Course in Miracles. 5 years in the Course in Miracles community.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. But I was just last night I every Monday evening I do a sharing group on Zoom. And somehow the course came up. I have the books. Actually, when it was still a 3-book series.
Like in one?
No.
Oh, when it was actually three books.
3 books,
okay,
and I pulled them out, and we were looking at them last night online with some friends, and because it's a deep.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty deep. Yeah.
It's pretty deep. The Course in Miracles is amazing.
Yeah.
Well, good for you.
Thank you. And also, another big thing is just I feel called to be a part of this, connecting people, helping them bring out their needs and how they can lovingly and joyfully help everybody else out so we can really thrive together.
Well, I think that, that just about covers what we want to do. This is, I think, one of the first videos to just talk about this and that, what each person sees. If you're part of this, come on in and talk to Alan and share what you see and how you can be part of this and what you bring to the table. It's an exciting opportunity, and it really, in a way, a bit old-fashioned because it's like a tribe.
Yeah.
And technology in some ways has separated us, and this can bring us back together in a through technology.
Yeah, use the technology where helpful. Yeah.
So I finally got it. It's not about the house. The house is part of it, and it's about the community and supporting each other. So when you go on the page and you have a need, or you need to get your house painted, let's talk about it, and see what we can pull together. Or your roof changed. I don't know. That's an exaggeration, but
seriously. Yeah. I mean, if you think about the tribes of old, they literally were everybody had their gifts that they brought, and then they just took care of everything literally within their pod, however big that was. I mean, why not? There are probably some people that can do roofs and would need work right now.
Yeah, or your walk shoveled. Yeah. Or drive to the grocery store.
Yeah, like group shopping. I mean, there are some ladies that have like single mom situations that maybe could be connected to support each other. I've heard a few talking about what they're going through.
I have a Costco card. I'll take you to Costco.
Yeah, exactly. Only as a guest, though. I'm just kidding around. Actually, it might be worth talking about our needs briefly, because we're talking about.
I have trouble with that. I don't have any needs.
Okay, perfect.
That's not true. What comes up for me is I've been doing a lot of video. I do a video every day.
Yeah.
And so I do need some help with the tech stuff. In what I'm doing around my videos that are every day and around my website and around social media. And so there's no question I have a need there. And so if anybody wants to play with video editing, these videos are all up. I've done over 300 in the last year. I've done one a day since 1st of May.
And these are you're sharing, just to clarify, you're sharing about the conversation around finding God or a higher power, or is it addiction and recovery? Or
not really. It's interesting because I don't even like to talk about different concepts of God, because I do, because that's the level that most people are at. But sometimes when we talk about God as a concept, it begins the conversation of separateness.
Right. There's an implication in the programming of some that it's about a judging God kind of thing,
or something outside of
something
us.
Outside, yeah.
But what happens in for all of us, I think that we have that piece of us that sometimes feels missing. I do call it the God hole. That we try to fill up with drugs or alcohol or food or gambling or sex, so we feel this completeness. So yes, a lot of what I do is to help people to see that there is a possibility of discovering their oneness. That the isness. But we can call it God if we want to. We can call it love. Love is that isness as well. The thing that really can't be described. As soon as we put a name on it, we've called it. Then we've separated. But there is that is part of what my talk is about every day. I do a reading from a piece of 12-step literature, the 24-hour day book that it was written in 1954, and sometimes it's really, really good. It really nails it. Sometimes it's not so. It's quite separate. But I think the idea of oneness, for many is an intellectual conversation, and so. it flies by a lot of folks. And
Sure.
but anyway, yeah. And those videos, I'd like to do some editing on those.
And get little snippets out
Yeah.
to be able to pop out and share the value that way.
And share the value that way. And not that everybody isn't absolutely perfect exactly how they are, because in a way we're exactly where we need to be.
Yeah.
And yet I feel drawn to continue, or to be in that conversation of who are we really, and to help folks to discover that lots of times we bought into this story of who we are, which is not really who we are.
Yeah, it's the fiction of who we are.
The
instead,
fiction, and so we're deep into this story of not good enough, or not smart enough, or not tall enough, or not whatever this, or it could be another story, and a bigger kind of an ego story of I'm the greatest, and everybody likes I'm the greatest, but superior is, it kind of separates us even more than inferior, in a way. We've all had experience with both, feeling superior, judging others and ourselves. So let's step out of judgment into now. And now is probably the best description of that
experience.
Yes, yeah. And so I'm not talking about a belief. Belief actually separates us from the now as well. And so we're talking about now. I know it's a bit of a reach, but anyway.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing with that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, thank you. And so I love you guys. I think that James, who's kind of, his vision, a lot of it is has an amazing vision of community and a love-based, caring community. And so that's why, I'm here, and to be part of a love-based, caring community.
Same here. Yeah, and in terms of my needs, I'm I did my spiel about what I can offer people. I'm just looking for opportunities basically to contribute what I like to do, which is all of these things that I mentioned for others, and just work together as a community to thrive together. So yeah, let me know if I can help you with something. Also, one last thing as well, which is kind of a need and kind of an offering. I've got in the spring here, what's the date today? It's like the 15th of March. We've got my business, window cleaning and lawn care, which there's potential for work, paid work, cash work for some of you. So if you have any interest in chatting with people or doing yard work or cleaning windows with a big long carbon fiber pole, then you can feel free to reach out and we can see if there's a fit there. So thanks a lot. Anything else to?
Love you guys.
Yeah.
Come visit us.
Yep.
Okay, cheers.
Many blessings for the now. Catch you soon.
Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you too.